It's Sunday, and you know what that means. It's time for the Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara. Browns coaching search updates, more names, more interviews. Who's it going to be? And of course, we are going to be building a mighty, massive parlay party NFL playoff betting ticket. Let's get to the show.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara. The sickest Cleveland Browns podcast.
Chubb runs, he's to the 10, 15, he's to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. There goes Chubb, he's to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Shabba-lubba hub.
It's gonna be sick.
Welcome, everybody. Happy Sunday. Already a couple playoff games in the books for divisional round. Whoo, boy. What a day. Bills are out. Denver is, we're going to talk about that, but the Denver Broncos, Bo Nix broken ankle. You're going with Jarrett Stidham, or as Coach Sean Payton called him, Stiddy. Good luck. Winner of the Texans Patriots game today goes to the Super Bowl. That's all. You ain't winning squat with Jarrett Stidham. Sorry to tell you. Wow. We'll get into that. My buddy Josh Hennig, host on ESPN Radio 97.3 ESPN, will be joining me in a few minutes. We're going to go through that. Seahawks 49ers. 41-6? What? I know there is injuries, but this is a divisional game. And, boy, Kyle Shanahan's coaching can only take you so far. And I wonder if the question starts to arise. It should. How far can Brock Purdy take you? Now, again, you are littered with injuries, man. Come on, right? We'll get into that in a few minutes. But the Browns coaching search, I got the up-to-date article, coaching tracker, up on Sporting News right now under the Browns section. Also on X, at AndyMC81, at SickPodBrowns. That's where you follow this fine show also. Click subscribe, notifications on. Jump in the chat. We're live, baby. We're live. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok too, at AndyMC Sports. With the Browns coaching tracker, second interview scheduled. Defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, which I'm excited about. Less excited about Baltimore offensive coordinator Todd Monken. I'm confused with that second interview. I kind of thought, okay, you get a veteran offensive guy and you're interviewing a lot of young rising coordinator guys. Todd Monken does not strike me as leader of men. He's been a head coach one time at any level in his career. It was in college years ago, and he had one good year. He won South something or other Coach of the Year. Let's see if I wrote it down in the article. I might have. No, I didn't for this one, but, a little Southern Mississippi, whatever the heck it was. Doesn't matter. That offense with Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson getting injured tanked. I'm not excited about Todd Monken. I would not be excited about that. Now, maybe in interviews, Todd Monken is a leader of men. I don't know. But I am very excited if you have Jim Schwartz as the head coach, you promote him. Then you use one of the other interviews that you've been going over with these young guys. For example, Grant Udinsky, Jags offensive coordinator, interviewed Saturday. Nate Scheelhaas, Rams pass game coordinator, interviewed Friday, as did Jesse Minter, defensive coordinator for the Chargers, on Friday. Chris Shula has been interview requested with him. Rams defensive coordinator. I'm wiping out the defensive guys as head coach. If you bring in one of those, Minter or Shula, you're not keeping Jim Schwartz. He's not going to. He's going to go run at some 30-something-year-old defense? No. So that's a mistake. Mike McDaniel, of course, was interviewed last Monday, January 12th. Harbaugh finalized the deal with the Giants, so he's out. Aiden Dirty, defensive coordinator of the the Seahawks, interviewed Friday. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. The British guy. The other dark horse, Dan Pitcher, Bengals. Here's what my perfect scenario here. Because if you're already an offensive coordinator, you need a reason. It really can't be a lateral move. The team is not going to let you go if they value you, right? So let's take my two top guys, Dan Pitcher and Nate Scheelhaas. Pitcher has been with Joe Burrow his whole career, developed him from QB coach to offensive coordinator, but is not calling plays. Burrow raves about him. He doesn't rave about Zach Taylor. He raves about Dan Pitcher. That's my top pick as offensive coordinator. Schwartz goes up, You say, okay, I want pitcher to come in and pal, you're calling plays. So now you're upgrading him. And if you need to, you throw in some associate head coach crap, whatever it is. That'd be my top guy. I like the divisional pull. I like that Burrow likes him. And Andrew Berry has an association with him. So if you want to keep Schwartz as head coach, say, hey, Dan, they worked together with the Colts when they were coming up in the personnel department. So pitcher's got both sides, right? He's got personnel and coaching. Top pick. If for whatever reason that doesn't work, you don't like that, that's when you go, I think, to Nate Shieldhouse, pass game coordinator. McVay's calling the plays, right? So you bring Shieldhouse, rising star, has that McVay pixie dust, was a prolific passer and runner in college. It's got the young mindset, and that's when you got a vet, leader of men, no nonsense, accountability, which this team desperately needs. Denzel Ward said as much. Said, we want accountability. Players want it. We're getting it under Stefanski. Congratulations, by the way, going to the Atlanta Falcons. They said he likely will bring Tommy Reese and maybe Bubba Vetrone with him. Please. We should be so lucky. Please take Bubba. Bye-bye. Good luck, Atlanta. You got Tommy Reese and Bubba Vetrone. Woo. What a powerhouse. Get rid of him. Schwartz, up. Leader of men, accountable. You bring in a Nate Shieldhouse. Fresh ideas, right? Go be creative, young man. That's going to be an appealing job. Pitcher or Shieldhouse with Schwartz is my guy. And then, I don't know, special teams, anybody, hashtag anybody but Bubba. That's your perfect plan. And that's sometimes why you interview these guys, right? It's okay. Hey, interview as head coach. Maybe you get blown away. But if not, hey, man, you got a nice, stable, you keep the continuity of the defense, which is the only thing working for this team, and you bump up. I think it makes a ton of sense going that route. Monken, I'm not interested in. Old offense. And isn't Harbaugh probably going to take him to New York with the Giants? That's part of the reason Harbaugh didn't get fired, because he didn't want to fire Monken. So you'd think he'd bring him along. I don't know. I wouldn't take Monken as head coach. Give me a Dan Pitcher 1, Shieldhouse 2nd, offensive coordinator. You give me that, I'm feeling good heading into this offseason. Then I start, of course, getting nervous because Andrew Berry's still making the draft picks. But we see how it goes, right? So that's the update on the coaching search. Again, make sure you're following along on X at AndyMC81, at SickPodBrowns, and on Instagram at AndyMCSports. Got all the link to my sporting news articles. And, of course, from this fine show, going to be popping up for this Bears-Rams game, Daddy Magic, Matt Menard's Magic Picks that we had earlier in the week. Make sure you're paying attention to that as well. But let's bring in my guy, ESPN radio host, Hennig, with Hennig from 97.3 ESPN. Josh Hennig, back on the program.
Andy, can you hear me?
I got you, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good. A little bit of a different setup for me today here at the house. So I'm trying something new, see if it works. And so far, it seems to be working better. So I'll take it.
I'll take it. It looks good. Have a little oak door in the background, a little class, right? Little mahogany.
I don't read into that much.
Do the Anchorman quote. Mahogany. Many
mahogany.
Books. Many books in front of you that we can't see. Well read, Mr. Josh Hennig. Yes. Listen, man. Before we get into the games today, how about the storylines unfolding from last night's action? Let's go with the quicker one first. We talked about it on your show Saturday. 41-6 for the Seahawks. What the bleep? Like Brock Purdy, like I was saying off the top, I think if you're San Francisco, you got two things to evaluate. One, finally figure out why you get injured all the time. Is it players? Is it that? I don't know. Figure it out and overhaul whatever that is, because that's weird that keeps happening. Two,
right.
Have you gotten as far as you can with Brock Purdy?
See, I don't blame last night on Brock Purdy. I blame last night on two things. One, I think that last night showed you that the Eagles should have won the game last week, but their coaching was so bad they couldn't. And number two, I think the 49ers poured so much into winning last week's game that they didn't have enough in the tank for this week. And I think the Seahawks, who had a week off, remember, they had plenty of time to prepare, plenty of time to analyze and recalibrate and da-da-da-da. And now they came in and they were like, you know what? we are going to do what the Eagles wouldn't do, which is run the ball all over them again.
Right. Josh, I think we missed a player prop bet opportunity with taking Jake Tongs as leading receiver for the 49ers. I would love to know what the opening line on a Jake Tongs tight end prop was, because I think there was some money to be made on that. 5 catches, 59 yards. McCaffrey, 5 catches, 39, and only rushed the ball 11 times for 35 yards. That was just complete domination, right?
It just goes to show you that old school football still wins in the NFL. You don't have to be some fancy offense. Mm-hmm. And you know what? How about some credit to Sam Darnold? Sam Darnold, we all had all the questions, right? Is icy ghost Sam Darnold going to show up? Is Sam Darnold going to choke in this game? Oh, now he's going to built-in excuse. Remember that thing out there? That conspiracy theory?
Weird.
You know, a built-in excuse. Well, he just won a playoff game, which means he still has more playoff wins now than half the quarterbacks in the NFL. So we could check that mark right off of him.
That's credit to Sam Darnold, because you're right. And I was one of the guys, and I think rightfully so, of, okay, well, he collapsed last year. When's it going to happen this year? Here's the difference. And we talked about it on your show, and I wrote about it on Sporting News. If you keep Sam Darnold in a position where he doesn't have to do too much, you go run heavy, hit the play action deep ball when it matters, when you can, when it's there, you win the game. The issue is going to be for whoever wins Rams-Bears is you got to get out to a lead, and you have to force Sam Darnold to throw the football. You have to force them to get away from the run. Because if you let Kenneth Walker run for 19 times like he did for 3 touchdowns and 116, you're winning nothing. You had Sam Darnold in a game manager role, looks phenomenal. But that's going to be the key for whoever faces them in the NFC Championship game. You got to get out to a lead, and you have to let them get away from the run and or stop Kenneth Walker. But boy, Sam Darnold as a game manager, you're looking as good as anybody.
The other part of this conversation is also, you saw, again, as I said before, what the Eagles couldn't do. The Seahawks did, which is took advantage of a depleted 49ers defense. Remember, we were wondering all week, is Fred Warner going to be activated for this game? And he wasn't activated for the game. So it's like, all right, well, he ain't out there. So the Seahawks were like, well, that's your problem, not ours. And now, whether it's the Rams or the Bears, what can the Rams and Bears both do well? They both can run the ball. What can they both do well? They both can run play action. So now you actually have a legitimate offense with a legitimate defense going to Seattle. I think that is more. You could argue that today's Bears-Rams game is the actual NFC Championship game.
Right. It's going to be a fantastic game of chess. Mike McDonald, first year. Got Grant in the chat. Our Canton correspondent says, what's up, Andy? And about the 49ers, say there is a conspiracy of a power station power plant being right next to the stadium in San Francisco that puts out an energy frequency that weakens tendons. Makes you think I'm all about that conspiracy theory. There are waves from anti-49ers in San Francisco, perhaps maybe a Dallas Cowboy enthusiast owner, I don't know, putting out waves to weaken tendons. Look, the way this team has collapsed defensively every year, I don't know, maybe.
So I actually did some research into that theory. Okay.
Did you really?
Yes. Well, because we were doing some research for the 49ers game. And, you know, there's the stat that the 49ers, in the 9 years of Kyle Shanahan's been head coach, they have been top 10 injuries 8 of the 9 years.
Yeah.
And so there was actually like this, like, I don't know, one of those like Stanford, really smart guys, right? Mm-hmm. Who has like a Substack. And he does like a lot of like sciencey stuff.
Right.
So like apparently he went to the 49ers facility and took like one of those like the spectrometers or whatever those measurement things for like radio waves and like radiation. Like he like scanned all around the facility, and he discovered that, like, for example, the output of your microwave, right, has a tiny bit of low radiation.
Right.
the radiation coming out of the facility onto the 49ers practice field is like quadruple what a microwave puts out.
What? Really? I wonder if you did a comparison with other NFL facilities. Like, I don't know, is there so much energy going on and stuff that's common or what? Like, I don't know. That'd be an interesting study.
It's not. It's a very specific facility for, like, computer servers and stuff like that.
That's what. Well, you got to change that.
Well, for example, so I'm watching right now. I don't know if you've seen it, the documentary, but the Buccaneers, the 50 years of the Buccaneers, and it's on Amazon Prime. And I'm not paid by Amazon. I'm not endorsing anything. I'm just saying it's a documentary.
Yeah.
In the documentary, one of the conversation points is they were talking about how for years the Buccaneers used to have the practice facilities next to the airport in Tampa. So, like, Tony Dungy's on there saying, yeah, see the airport over there? Like, that was our crowd noise. Every time a plane would take off, we couldn't hear each other during practice.
Oh.
And he said the problem is that every once in a while we get like a puff of like emissions from the things, he said. And he goes, and the guys have to go get like oxygen, like on the sideline, because they're like, choking on like random like airplane fumes.
That's why they stunk for the first 30 years, right?
And so, like, he was showing about how like the Buccaneers for like the first like 20 some years, like their coaching offices was like the size of like a small bank. And like they were telling the story about like Herm Edwards, who was on Tony Dungy's staff. His office was in a closet. And so, like, in order for him to make a phone call, he had to like take his chair out of the closet to close the door so he could talk on the phone. So, like, when people act like these NFL facilities are like well situated or well planned, or like, dude, no, stop acting like the NFL people are that much smarter than everybody else.
Yeah, at least back then. Oh, man.
But look at the 49ers now. Like, the 49ers, it's like, and also, like, why did the Chargers move from LA? It's the dumbest thing in the world. Like, we can go through a litany of things of, like, why does this team do this? Why does it, like, why? I cover the Eagles, every day for 97.3 ESPN. Why does Nick Sirianni feel it's necessary to be treating like it's government secrets what's going on with the team at times? Like,
I know.
Meanwhile, you have a guy like Kyle Shanahan. He's just like emptying the canister for the media to ask him any questions.
And he did. I'm still shocked by that Seahawks game. But the big shocker, an emotional Josh Allen after. But you talk about today's NFC game being the real NFC Championship. I think we can say the same for the Texans Patriots game, because Bo Nix, broken ankle, Stiddy, Jarrett Stidham is in for the Broncos next week.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the run, Denver Broncos fans. What a year. You're done. It's over. I don't know what the line is going to be coming out of this game, but it is going to be heavy for whoever wins, because there is zero chance, Josh, zero, unless there is defensive turnovers like crazy and touchdown. Jarrett Stidham is not beating you. He hasn't thrown a pass since 2023. And I guarantee you then, it wasn't a good one.
No.
What do you think of that finish in Buffalo? Overtime, 5 turnovers. Bills' chance, we talked about. This was the Bills' window. No Mahomes, no Lamar, no Burrow. You blew it. And it's on the Bills, not Josh Allen. They did not put enough around him. And if you're Buffalo, you better be circling, racking up receivers, jacking up that offense and trying to improve the D. Because it doesn't mean that you still can't compete. Of course you can. But that was a case where you put too much on Josh Allen, too banged up, and it came crashing down.
Listen, you can't win a playoff game if you have 5 turnovers. And the Bills still almost did.
Yeah.
And you could argue they did it to themselves. Josh Allen saying it's all my fault. They told Deion Dawkins what he said after the game in the locker room. Dawkins started crying. The whole Bills organization is crying. They realized that they had an opportunity and they messed up. And it's more than just the interception that maybe should or could have been an interception, that whole thing. It's the fact that it's the James Cook turnover early in the game when they're matriculating down the field, as Hank Stram used to say, right? It's the idea that, like, you have a team that was in position to win. and you gave it away.
Gave it away.
5 times.
Like you literally gave it away in that case. You literally gave it away. And that's something where if you're Buffalo, I wonder, I think it's probably too late in the process to replace Sean McDermott as far as coaching, because really the coaching options are I think Brandon Beane should be more accountable. He's the one putting this roster together. Why in 3 years have you not been able to find a wide receiver? Like that was on your team is a on a good team is a WR3 tops.
Yeah. That was the comment I heard from a lot of analysts last night on ESPN and NFL Network. It's kind of like bouncing back and forth, kind of like getting everybody's little takes, Yeah. And that's kind of like the universal opinion, which is no one's blaming Sean McDermott. No one's blaming Josh Allen. Everyone is blaming the front office. And it's like, and listen, I'm just parroting what everybody else is saying. So I'm not saying anything, breaking news analysis here, but like you just said it, get better wide receivers. Also, how about a better pass rush? How about you stop depending on Joey Bosa to save you?
Old recycled guys, Von Miller, Bosa, injury prone.
Yeah. Like, well, what are you doing on defense? And by the way, listen, Tre'Davious White used to be a good corner. And then he's had too many injuries. You can't depend on him anymore. You got to get a better corner out there. Listen, you look around the NFL. Look at the teams that are left right now. They all have something they can point to.
Right.
That's a strength on their defense. Okay? Seattle, that front seven is really good, right?
Yeah. Lethal.
How about the Rams? Their front line, really good, right? The Bears. You could argue the Bears have a very underrated secondary.
Sure.
In this postseason. And then the Patriots, that Patriots defense has a group of closers on that team. And then you got a team like the Texans. You can argue the Texans are the best defense in football. So if I learned anything from Buffalo is look around the league. You gotta make sure the defense is able to not be taken advantage of so easily, number one. And as you said, number two, get some real wide receivers. I'm sorry, like I like Dalton Kincaid, I like Dawson Knox, but your tight ends cannot be the end all be all of your offense.
No, you add a quality receiver to, then they become nice compliments. You want them, but you need his compliments. Got Griff in the chat, YWC football talk. I felt like how Andy felt when Paul DePodesta left the Browns about last night. Well, that was pure joy when because Griff is a Patriots fan, for those who don't know, and of course hates the Buffalo Bills and was just purely elated, as I was when Paul DePodesta went to go ruin the Colorado Rockies, which I'm sure he is in full swing doing as the useless lifter that he is.
You know how he's ruining the Colorado Rockies, Andy?
How?
He's not doing anything.
Yeah. Leave it alone, right? Oh, my God. What's Grant saying? You also can't have all that if you are paying QB so much percentage of the cap. That's where it goes to. That's why the window to win is on the rookie contract, right? Like you had with the Eagles, like you have there. Then you got to finagle stuff. Bills can still do it. Don't get me wrong. Like, look, you got draft picks.
Can I play devil's advocate for a minute?
Sure.
There's a lot of teams in the NFL that have their quarterbacks very highly paid, and they still find ways to put talent around them.
That's the artwork of it. Yep.
Look at the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? The Philadelphia Eagles are the highest paid offense in the NFL this year. Does anybody think they didn't have the talent around the quarterback, or do they think the coach was an idiot?
Right.
Okay.
Anthony Brown imploding on himself. Yeah.
Look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs spent a lot of money. Now, they spent the money on the wrong positions. You can argue the Chiefs because they should have spent the money on the offensive line. But listen, they're paying Mahomes a lot of money. I think that the idea that you can only pay one or the other, I think we're learning that the good teams in the NFL, look at the Seahawks. The Seahawks, they gave Sam Darnold a pretty penny, okay? 3 years, 96 is not cheap.
No.
Okay? So, but guess what? They're a good combination of guys they drafted and then guys they brought in. And remember, imagine they did not trade for Rashid Shaheed at the trade deadline. How would different that game be?
Sure. You had another playmaker. And for these teams, too, that's where you get your quarterback. Great. Then hitting on the draft is important. Getting the right free agents and not what Buffalo's been doing, trying to like Band-Aid old beaten down pass rushers. Like,
Yeah.
you got to get these free agents when they're 26 or 28, not 30 something, or their bodies are like they're 40, right? Like, you got to hit on those guys at the right positions while hitting on the draft. And that's why these general managers and front offices are paid a lot of money. That's why I think Brandon Beane should get the boot. Yeah, now, it all depends, who's going to come in to replace, but you got to do something. He's got a blind spot for wide receivers. You got to hit that, and we talked about the pass rush. So let's go about today's game. Grant said Mahomes is being paid, his pay spread out over about 10 years. I think something like that, the 500 mil, whatever it was, right?
So the way Mahomes deal works is it's a stagger. So like every other year is a high pay, and every other year is a lower pay. So it's like I have to pull up the exact number. If you give
That's
me a
an
second,
interesting strategy. Why don't other teams do that? That's a good strategy.
I actually don't think any other team does it.
That's a great strategy.
But I think it's like 1 year is like 55, the other year is like 35, something like that.
And then as long as you work in the guaranteed cash, then who cares?
Well, that's what the Eagles do, for example. For those who don't know, the reason why the Eagles can always manipulate their salary cap is because they just pay people so much cash up front that it manipulates the number on the cap to be lower than it should be.
Now, does that eventually come back to bite you? Because that's what the Browns do in a way to Deshaun Watson's contract. And when they cut him or he leaves after this year, they're going to be smashed with like an $80 million cap hit.
Yeah, so here's the Mahomes deal. You're ready for these cap numbers?
Okay.
This is hilarious. So, it's 1 year it's 28 million. The next year it's 78 million. The next year is 42 million. The next year is 74 million. The next year is 44 million. And then it's 48, then it's 45, and then there's 3 dummy years on the back end.
That seems a way to do it. I don't know why there's not more copycats of that. That seems to make sense to me.
The problem with the Deshaun Watson deal is they guaranteed the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's where that's where the Paul D. Podestas of the world should just stick to baseball and get out of the NFL.
Yeah. Keep your losing debate. It's going to haunt me forever. And Deshaun Watson's contract is going to haunt us for at least 3 more years after this. In conversation with Josh Hennig from 97.3 ESPN, host of Hanging with Hennig every Saturday on 97.3 ESPN, and you can catch him on YouTube as well. All right, my man, let's get to some little parlay party here. Let's get to build a ticket. We got 2 games. We got Texans Patriots. Going to pull up the old DraftKings Sportsbook app right here. Let's see if we can build a ticket, make some money. Let's load in. I have to make sure I'm telling you I'm fit to play, Josh. We know how we love that, right? I'm fit.
Yes.
I'm fit. I'm telling you, I'm ready to go. Got to log back in. All right. Who do you like off the bat? Texans, Patriots. I think, Josh, this goes in a way where the Patriots hope to win this game is you got to go up early and you have to make the Texans offense chase you. If you are in a situation where they were against Pittsburgh, where it's like 7-6, 10-7 late, you're not winning that game. They will grind you down and pulverize you with that defense. But if you have them to chase, I don't think the Texans offense has the horses right now to make a comeback.
Yeah, so my thing is, if you're Denver, you want to see the Patriots, you do not want to see the Texans. So Denver does not want to see that defense come to Denver because we know defense travels. Yeah. I think this is going to be a rock fight today. I think that this is going to be a low-scoring game. Remember, these are 2 head coaches who are former defensive players. D'Amico Ryans, Mike Vrabel. Honestly, the halftime show should be them fighting. Like
a boxing match.
Let them have a boxing match at halftime, and then the winner gets the ball in the second half. Like that's what they should. Or
slap fight. I don't even know if that's
no. That's too modern. Like these are old school guys.
That's true.
They maybe bare knuckle boxing.
Bare knuckle, you go like that, right? The old timey.
I mean, did you see how excited Vrabel was when his mouth was bleeding the other day?
That's a different breed, man. That's what you want to do. Leader of so let's look here. We're getting plus 146 for a straight up Texans win. That's pretty juicy. Plus 100 for the Pats to win by more than 3.5. Over under set at 40.5. The under's paying minus 106.
I like the under in this game,
and
I'm leaning Patriots. That was my pick on the show yesterday on 97.3 ESPN. But it's interesting because I've been getting most of the game winner picks right. it's been like playing roulette with the lines, because what we're finding out is that like a game like last night, where, well, it was yesterday afternoon, last night, depending on what time zone you're in. That Bills Broncos game was way higher scoring than I ever expected it to be.
Yes. I thought as well for the Seahawks game, because week 18, it was 13-3. So the under was my pick for that. And then all of a sudden, San Francisco collapses and the Seahawks are running wild. Right? So I'm with you on the under. That plus, Vegas is teasing you, right? With that plus 146. It's like, ooh. So what do you want to do? So you want to do under, and then do you want the spread? You want money line? So where are we thinking? You want to go Pat's money line?
I mean, I like the under. I mean, unless there's like an alternate number you can throw in there. I know I don't know if DraftKings still offers that option, but I know they used to offer the option. You could do like, alt lines as part of your same game parlay.
Right.
But I mean, I like the under in the game. I think this is probably like a 2017, 2014, 21-13 kind of game.
Right.
I think the Pats do win because they're at home. I think that I'm not overly confident in the Pats winning, but I just think that, home field advantage still does mean something in the NFL.
I'm with you. But the Texans did win in Pittsburgh, and that's a nasty environment. You know what?
But was that because of the Texans or because of Pittsburgh?
Because Pittsburgh sucks. Oh, I hope they're on a decline. Oh, please.
Did you see the story that came out, was it late last night or early this morning, about Aaron Rodgers?
But that he might, it's like he's not going to return, right? Or probably not return? No,
that the players are begging him to return. That the guys on the team are like, can you please come back? Like, apparently he was like such a great mentor to the young players.
Wow.
That, all the young guys are like, can you please come back, even though Tomlin isn't here?
Jeez. I don't know. But Pittsburgh's always, they're in purgatory with quarterback. Yeah, sure. Run Aaron Rodgers back as a Browns fan. Please do. What's the over-under? DeSoundtree is asking 40.5 in the Pats-Texans game, DeSoundtree. We're going to say under in the 40.5. All right, I'll go with you on the money line, minus 174. Oh, I think Vegas is just teasing me with that.
Is there a prop? Is there a prop for Drake May rushing yards?
Oh, I bet you there is. Let's take a little peek here on the DraftKings Sportsbook.
I can see a scenario where Drake May is running for his life, because remember their best offensive lineman is out for the year.
So we have multiple options here. You can get Drake May 15 or more rushing yards, minus 1,100. 20 or more, minus 550. 25 or more, minus 320. You don't start to get to pluses till 40, and I think that's a bit rich.
It is a bit rich. I would say that the 20 to the 25 is probably a safe, because I can totally see a scenario where he's just running for his life a couple times.
I think if we stack it, if we're doing a stack, we can mix in a lower one like that, minus 550. Let's go 20 plus.
Yeah.
Let's go 20 plus.
And watch him rush for 22. We barely hit it.
Yeah. We got passing yards. I don't really want to do anything CJ Stroud passing yards. It's just
I have no feel with that. Without Nico Collins, it's a huge loss.
Absolutely. I think for Drake May passing yards, if we go 175 plus, it's minus 400. I think that's okay. We can add that in. We're now at plus 353. Anytime touchdown stuff you're liking? It just seems a little too. I got more faith in some props when it comes to the Bears game.
Yeah, I think the Bears game is probably going to be a better prop game, because the other thing with the Patriots is that it's like playing roulette. Who's going to score a touchdown every week?
Yes, that's just it. Okay, let's go to Rams Bears here. Caleb Williams, 7 fourth quarter comebacks. We know what they did against the Packers. People saying the Rams might be soft. Matthew Stafford, I saw in overall cold weather games, which did freezing or below, he's 3-3, and McVay is 2-2. But there's something else where it's cold weather, which not sure what, it didn't say what temperature that qualified for, but that Stafford's 1-9. So I don't know. There's stuff flying all over. He played in the NFC North. I'm not concerned about.
He also played for the Detroit Lions, which is, which were so bad for so many years. There's a point in time where if you're a fantasy football player, you got excited when, was it Joaquin Bell or whatever his name was? Remember him?
Yeah. Eesh. Throwback that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, the Rams and McVay and Stafford together have won a Super Bowl. They know what to do, right? They know what to do. I want to absolutely smash this under at 48.5. Josh, the weather, it's like 19 Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but like it means cold. It means windy. It means you're going to be running the football. I want to smash that under minus 108. I think that's the steal of the game right there.
I do like the under because of the weather. I'm going to look up what it is in Fahrenheit and Celsius.
And then spread is Rams road favorite minus 3.5. Bears to win outright is plus 164. Oh, I can see the Bears kind of covering that minus 105. What do you think?
By the way, 19 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 7.2 Celsius.
Ooh, and that's before any wind.
That's before the wind
chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you work in the wind chill. That's going to be dirty. Would you pay for it? Like, I would not pay for a ticket to sit outside in that. I would much rather be like in the city. Like I always said, like if the Browns go to the Super Bowl ever, if I can still walk, if that happens, it's great. Not old. Or what? Even if it's in Cleveland, like before the stadium's built with the dome, I want to be in the city. I want to be in the bar, but I don't want to sit outside and suffer in the freezing cold. That doesn't. That's not a good time to me.
No.
Are you the same? Are we like? And I don't think it ever was. Like I see people with the shirts off. I'm like, that looks terrible. It's like a terrible time.
Listen, I think it's a maturity age thing. It's like you get to a certain age in your life, a certain type point in your life, you just don't have an interest in experiencing that. Like I went to the Eagles playoff game last weekend, and like I had layers on layers on, and the wind was still cutting through me. Oof. And I was like, you know what? This was a cool idea until I actually did it. Like, thank you for the tickets. I appreciate the person who, but it's like,
but now
I'm not doing this again.
I'll be inside. Yeah. Griff saying he's got Bears at 4.5. I'm seeing 3.5 right now, Griff, but if you can get 4.5, I take the Bears to cover that. I'm seeing 3.5 right now. What are you thinking, spread or money line on this one, Josh? We're going to go take the under.
Yeah.
What are you thinking for spread or money line? Let's go off the 3.5 for now.
I don't like the spread too much. I feel like that's a either way kind of situation.
Yeah, it's a bit of a trap.
I mean, I think the Rams are going to win this game just because they're the more experienced team. And I think that the Rams kind of got the monkey off their back by beating the Panthers last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of
they've done it. Right? They've done it.
Yeah.
Like Caleb, now everyone's got to do it for the first time, right? Like Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams is their first. They could do it.
Sure.
They haven't done it. We know. No. Now Stafford's got a finger thing, but I from what I see, it doesn't sound like it's too big of an issue.
No.
Right? So he'll go through that. But I think if we go that, let's go to the props because I think this is where we make some money here.
Puka.
In the cold, though, that's, I think, might
doesn't
be
matter. Puka,
no matter what?
Yeah.
You're writing it on your draft day sticky note? Puka Nacua touchdown no matter what? All right.
I mean, unless you feel better about Devontae Adams. Listen, one of those two guys is going to score a touchdown. One of those two is going to score a touchdown. This is going to be a low-scoring game. Someone's got to score. And
Puka gives you the better odds, too, minus 110, which is surprising.
I think that's probably because Devontae Adams was one of the league leaders in touchdowns scored this year. That's probably why. But I'm looking at it as Devontae Adams still coming off of an injury. You know, the Bears are probably going to put their best corner on Devontae because they probably look at Puka as he's going to get his numbers no matter what.
Right. Okay, let's take Puka anytime touchdown. What about a little Kyron Williams? Ground game?
Yeah, why not? What's his
plus 120?
I'll say, what's his rush prop?
I'll look at the rush prop in a sec. Let's go through any other anytime touchdowns. DeAndre Swift, Monangai, Loveland. That's a little. I kind of lean towards Swift there, but you're thinking maybe go more on the rushing prop side, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, is there a prop for Caleb Williams to throw an interception?
There might be. I don't think you can add that to the. I think that has to be a separate one. I don't think you can add that in. So rushing props, okay. Williams, 30 or more minus 1,400, 40 or more minus 450, 50 or more minus 230, 60 plus minus 122. Over 70 is when you get into plus money. What if we do the 50? That seems good.
Yeah, 50.
DeAndre Swift, 40 or more, minus 290, 50 or more, minus 154.
That's a timeshare. It's hard to gauge that one.
So let's do 40. Got to get 40. On the ground, they run more than anybody.
I mean, do you feel better about Swift or Monangai?
Swift. But you're right. It's a timeshare.
Right.
I think they can both eat it, really. Like, I don't think 40 is an unreasonable ask.
Yeah.
Right? DeSoundtree saying he likes the Bears kind of. I wouldn't be surprised with it. I might take Bears to cover. We'll for our purposes, we're going to take the Rams to win, but I could see a world where Chicago does it and grinds it out.
Listen, I don't doubt the Bears can't win it. It's just that I'm with you, Andy, in the idea that like you have a team in the Rams who's been there, done that.
Yeah.
And Sean McVay, he seems to be able to beat everyone but the Eagles. So he's 0-4 against Nick Sirianni's Eagles.
Really?
Is Sean McVay. Yeah. And I think he's like 1 for 6 overall as a head coach against Philadelphia. So like, but against the rest of the NFL, he seems fine. So,
right. So he's got it.
So I don't look at this as a game where like there's unless the Rams beat themselves, right? Unless the Rams do something to beat themselves, right? Fumble like the Bills game yesterday. Like, sure. If the Rams become the Bills, then yes, I can see the Bears winning.
Right. So we got here a 9-leg same game parlay. Let's see what we got. We got odds plus 4,992. $10 wager picks us up $499.28. That's a good little Sunday.
Boom.
Boom. How about that? So, okay, everybody, take your notes. Ready? Okay, this is what we're doing. Texans, Patriots, under 40.5. Patriots money line. Drake May, 20 or more rushing yards. Drake May, 175 or more passing yards. Rams, Bears, under 48.5. Rams money line. Puka Nacua, anytime TD. Kyron Williams, 50 or more rushing yards. DeAndre Swift, 40 or more rushing yards. Plus 4,992. How about that? That's pretty sweet. And none of these seem unreasonable. Right?
No, I think that's where playoff football sometimes is almost better for these crazy parlays because it's like there's less variables to worry about.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm totally with you. I think that's a pretty reasonable parlay there. All right, buddy. That's going to be a fun day of football. Tell people where they can find you. You're all over the place on 97.3 ESPN.
Yeah, so on 97.3 ESPN, you mentioned the show. You join me every Saturday, hanging with Hennig, 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on 97.3 ESPN. I'm the producer for the Sports Bash with Mike Gillett during the week, Monday through Friday. You can follow me on X at Josh Hennig, on Instagram at Joshua S. Hennig, and yes, the YouTube channel is just my name at Josh Hennig.
Beautiful. All right, buddy. Great stuff as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Andy. Appreciate you, man.
All right. There he goes. Josh Hennig from 97.3 ESPN Radio. And folks, we just went over the bets on the DraftKings Sportsbook, and they are an official sports betting partner of the NFL. It makes every playoff moment feel bigger. DraftKings also has your back. Check this out, okay? Has your back with early exit protection. If the player in your eligible NFL prop bet goes down at any point in the first half, you still get paid in cash. That's beautiful. You're saying it's a safety net. You still get paid in cash. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 6sports. That's code 6sports to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
There you go, everybody. We're ready to rock for some playoff football. The Soundtree said just hit my bet with Franklin on it yesterday with the DraftKings Sportsbook. There you go. Hopefully you use code 6sports And you got your bonus bets there, brother. That's what you got to do. Jump on in there. Just some late news from Adam Schefter to go over, see if there's any injuries. Let's see. Steelers are expected to speak with former Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy about their head coach vacancy. McCarthy is from Pittsburgh. Interesting. Let's see. Titans have a second head coaching interview with Chiefs OC Matt Nagy. Of course, Kevin Stefanski going to Atlanta with the Falcons. Dolphins getting ready to interview Kelvin Shepard, Lions defensive coordinator, for their head coaching vacancy. As I said, second interviews for Todd Monken and Jim Schwartz scheduled Monday for Schwartz, Tuesday for Monken from the Browns. Hire Schwartzy Monday. Come on. What are we doing? Why are we delaying? Jeff Hafley, Packers DC, scheduled the interview with the Dolphins Monday. And there you go. Going to be fascinating to track. Make sure you are following me on X and the show at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81 on Instagram and TikTok, at AndyMC Sports. I got all the links to my sporting news articles on there as well. I'm blasting stuff out there, folks. Okay, we got betting, we got Browns, we got a whole bunch of stuff. Make sure you're checking those out. Give it a click, give it a watch. Big thanks to my guy, Josh Hennig from 97.3 ESPN, and for producer Shane. I'm Andy McNamara. Let's see if we can win some money today. And as always, go Browns!
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.